Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are fine and doing well. It is the third video in the negotiation series, and today I'll be talking about two critical concepts that can make or break your negotiation strategy. They are BATNA and ZOPA. Understanding these concepts is absolutely essential in order to achieve favorable negotiation outcomes. So let's get started. BATNA refers to the best alternative to a negotiated agreement. It is the path or course of action you would take in case the negotiation fails to produce a satisfactory outcome. If you are a buyer, it would be the maximum price or the ceiling at which you would be willing to buy something. And if you are a seller, it would be the minimum price or the floor at which you would be willing to sell something. Understanding your BATNA is crucial as it empowers you with leverage and confidence during negotiations. It serves as a safety net, giving you a fallback option or plan B in case the deal does not meet your requirements. Taking the extreme of an auction, in the heat of the moment, you may get emotionally charged and feel the need to win by all means possible, ultimately getting into an extremely bad deal for yourself and your wallet. So, by having established walkaway point or generated alternatives, you are less likely to do so. The bottom line is you need to understand no deal is better than a bad deal. So, how do you come up with your BETNA? Assess your alternatives outside of the current negotiation, and what options do you have if the deal falls through. You can consider factors such as cost, time, and feasibility, and you should always have a benchmark or a cutoff as your walkaway point. An example of BETNA could be, let's say you're negotiating a salary increase with your employer. Your BATNA could be pursuing job opportunities at other companies offering higher salaries and benefits. You can gauge this through LinkedIn, Glassdoor, or through your professional network. By knowing this, you would be in a much better position to negotiate effectively with your employer. Now let's talk about ZOPA. ZOPA refers to Zone of Possible Agreements. It is the range of outcomes that are acceptable to both parties in a negotiation. It is a sweet spot where the interests of both parties overlap and a mutually beneficial agreement could be reached. It is the difference or the gap between the maximum price that a buyer is willing to pay and the minimum price that a seller is willing to sell. So, how do you determine ZOPA? Explore potential areas of agreement by understanding each party's interests, priorities, and constraints. Look out for overlapping preferences and opportunities for trade offs. Sometimes the initial size of the ZOPA may seem narrow, but through creative problem solving and by exploring interests, the size of the ZOPA can be expanded to include more opportunities and possibilities for agreement. Here is an example of ZOPA. Imagine you are negotiating the terms and conditions of a business partnership. By exploring each party's needs and priorities, you could identify areas where there is room for compromises and mutual gains. Expanding the size of the ZOPA may require exploring different revenue sharing models and collaboration opportunities. Last week, I sold my car. To establish my BATNA, I made a search on Backwheels, which happens to be the most credible website in Pakistan for buying and selling cars. The filters I applied included make, model, variant, kilometers driven, and registration city of the car. And through search, I established that the starting point should be rupees 6.5 million. I took some really nice pictures of the car and I posted them on the same forum. I got a lot of calls and offers, and the highest offer that I got was rupees 6.25 million. And by virtue of being the highest offer, my BATNA was rupees 6.25 million. The eventual seller reached out. He seemed interested. He came over and physically inspected the car, and we had a detailed negotiation. And through discussions, I established that his BATNA was rupees 6.4 million. So the ZOPA in this scenario was between rupees 6.25 million and rupees 6.4 million. Based on this information, can you guess what the final negotiated price was? Let me know in the comment section. I will see you in the next video.